No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen.
Howdy, partners. Welcome back to The Pursuit. It's just kidding, guys. It's not Cowboy Luke. It's me, Lukey CK. Coming off of a massive, smashing winners weekend, winners morning. I'll get right into it. Won about $5,000 this weekend. It's a pretty penny. And, me and Alex were together. Not for the fights. It takes a man with a little mud in his blood to wake up as early as I did and saddle up and ride. But I did have a big winning weekend. We'll break it all down. We'll talk about it. UFC Perth, Australia. What a card. What a delightful experience for me. And if you were betting along with me in the open bets sheet, I had some guys with the audacity to say, why don't you post these bets? I say, sir, I post these bets on Instagram. Guy messages me. And Luke, I post my winnings. He says, why didn't you post these? I'm like, I post them every single week in the open bet sheet. You can access the open bet sheet via patreon.com/perfectparlaypursuit. And I went 11 out of 12. I got one fight wrong, and it was a fight I really didn't have any bet on. It was the Junior Tafa fight. It was the only fight I got wrong on the entire card. If you were rocking with me last week, we picked Cody Steele, Jonathan Mikalev, Wes Schultz, Colby Thickenese, Jacob Malkoon, Cam Rouston, Louis Sutherland, Brando Pericic, Steve Urseg, Quinlan Salkild, and Carlos Pratas. We got every single fight correctly except one, Kevin Christensen. And if you followed along on the open bet sheet, you would have seen that the only bets I had on that fight were Tafa and Tafa round one knockout. So towards the weekend, I changed my mind entirely once I realized that Kevin Christensen was not Brazilian. I knew where the fight was going to go and why he was being brought in. So what a weekend. What a card. Alex, how you doing? You're muted.
And honestly, they say that he lost, Kevin Christensen, but he won, and our king will be back.
This is no concern to us.
I'm doing well. I didn't watch a lick of any of these fights. I was asleep. I had a bit of a long night the night before. Couldn't make the bell, let's just say. They called me who was that guy? Who was that guy who quit on his stool first fight in the UFC? Wrestler from North Carolina.
Oh, deep cut. But I do know who this is. You were talking about one. It was against Austin Vander. No, it was against Hubbard, Austin Hubbard, and his name was. See if I remember without looking it up. Yeah, North Carolina wrestler. Looks kind of like. We'll think of it. Because I do know his name. I just can't remember.
But I didn't make the bell. I only got a few different fights wrong. I think I only got 2 or 3 wrong on this one.
You went 6 and 6. By my count, at least. So we both were correct all through the prelims. Cody Steele, Jonathan Mikalev, Wes Schultz, Colby Thickenese, and Jacob Malkoon. First 5 fights.
Junior Tafa. I picked Junior Tafa.
That's not how I have it, Hoss. But listen, if that's true, that's great because we went 7 for 8 Triple P certified as I have it. The Triple P certified picks that we gave on the podcast, at least as I have it recorded, were Cody Steele, Jonathan Mikalev, Wes Schultz, Colby Thickenese, Jacob Malkoon, Kevin Christian, Steve Urseg, and Carlos Pratas. So 7 out of 8 Double P certified picks. The ones I have for you wrong here are Tuivasa, Brajcek, Gaziev, and Dariush. And then you said you didn't pick Christian, but that would be great because that means we went 7 out of 7 Double P certified. But what a night. What a bunch of fights. I don't know. I mean, couldn't have really scripted it any better for myself. The picks were posted in the open bet sheet. I'm going to show you guys the winning bet slips right now. Let's get into it so I can show you how much money I won. It was fantastic. Share my screen. Okay. So this was the first one. Can you see this, Alex?
Yes, sir.
So I laid big, heavy chalk, not chalk, big, heavy units, lots of units on Wes Schultz. His opponent hadn't fought in 2 years, and you guys know I love party time. Wes Schultz, the national treasure. Saw him on the Contender Series. I believe in this man. I love this man. I think he's adorable. And I irresponsibly, I'll be the first to say this is an irresponsible fucking bet. Okay. This bet is silly, but I said it's party time, baby. And I had won betting on Carson Hocevar in NASCAR the weekend before. I picked the winner, my fucking hero, Carson Hocevar. I picked Carson Hocevar. He won, so I had a little bit of money in the account. I said, who's one underdog on the card I believe in? It's Wes Schultz. Boom, we throw $500 on Wes Schultz. We make $650 back. Then I bet 100 on Cody Steele by submission. My thinking here was I watched him do an interview, and he was saying how he wasn't going to be making any money, and I knew he needed to get a finish. So I thought, what went wrong in his last fight? He fought like an idiot. He brawled. There's been a lot of time since that fight, and he was talking in the interview about how if you put him in a jiu-jitsu match against these other UFC fighters, like how they're doing jiu-jitsu matches and stuff, he's like, I would smoke them. I'm so good at jiu-jitsu. I was like, that's confidence, and I know he needs the money. I know he needs to finish. I know he needs to prove everybody wrong. Prove he can fight smart. He's gonna win by submission. $100 paid, $550 back, $650 total. Then I had a parlay that if Steve Erceg would have won, I would by finish. If Steve Erceg would have won by finish, this was the last leg, and that would have paid another like almost $3,000 on top of everything I won. But obviously, Steve Erceg won by decision, so this would have been the final leg. So I said, "Fuck it, let's put some of the Cody Steele winnings on Sal Killed KO at round 1." Won another 510 there, and then this was the big daddy of them all. I used a 10% profit boost on this one, bet $100 at 28-1 odds. Cody Steele, Mikulev, Thickenisi, Louis Sutherland, Brando Pericic, and Carlos Ratis. One of the first bets I placed when this card was announced. These were just the off the cuff kind of. These are the guys who are going to win picks. And as the fight got closer, so many people were talking about Ty and Louis Sutherland sucking. I was like, guys, just because Louis Sutherland sucks doesn't mean that Ty doesn't suck. But this was what was in my FanDuel account that I cashed out. Obviously, this bet was in DraftKings, so I cashed that out in DraftKings. Also had a really great weekend betting on blackjack, doing blackjack on the mobile phone as well. Won about $400 or $500 doing that. And then the very next day, for the second weekend in a row, at this point I win, $4 or $5 grand, $4 on FanDuel. FanDuel's offering me Sunday morning, after this is all said and done, FanDuel's offering me a deposit match bonus up to $250 in free bets, 25% deposit match. So I throw $1,000 into FanDuel. I get $250 in free bets. I play a little blackjack. I'm up, I'm down, but I end up just breaking even, and I cashed the $1,000 out. And then I put the $250 in free bets on a combination of Carson Hocevar, Chase Elliott, and Christopher Bell. $50 bet on Chase Elliott at 14-1 odds. Won $700 when Chase Elliott hits the checkered flag. I have not only won twice this year on Chase Elliott, the only 2 races he's won this year, I bet on him. I won on Carson Hocevar's race. I've won 3 NASCAR races out of 11 that have happened. And Tyler Reddick won 5, of which I bet on Tyler Reddick not once. So that means that one guy won 5 races. You take away Tyler Reddick in general, I've won 3 out of 6 NASCAR races where someone other than Tyler Reddick has won the race. So I'm bad. I'm a bad fucking man. I'm a black hat like Carson Hocevar. And it is what it is. The luck's got to run out soon. So I almost want to get to my loss. I want to get to the loss that is inevitable. Like the winning streak has to end eventually. If it doesn't end, the CIA is going to come to my house, shoot me in the head, put my brain in a bag for study, take my phone, run it through all the AI scanners, and they're going to fucking figure out how I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So it has to end. So tonight I bet $50 on the Sixers in the playoffs at like almost 3-1. I bet $50 on the Flyers at almost 3-1. And last I checked, the Flyers were winning right now. Let's see, Flyers score. The Flyers are up 2-1 at the end of the first. So as massive underdogs. So yeah, I think I'll win. I only need one of them to win to profit. And the Sixers, I believe, don't start yet, right? They start at what time?
I think 8:30.
So we'll see. I mean, maybe they both win, maybe neither of them win. Either way, I'm happy. I'm happy if I lose because it means the streak is over. Now we can start a new streak. If I'm happy if I win, I'll find something to bet on throughout the week. But I want to get to the weekend karma recharged so I can make sure I win some money this weekend on the UFC again because that's my most fun. That's the most fun I have. Alex, yeah. So we were up, Alex and I, drinking the night before. I didn't get up at 4 a.m. for the start of the card. I got up at about 6:30, and I was hungover. I was real hungover. I was down bad. But the first fight I saw was Cam Rouston versus Robert Bryjek, and then that was like the 7th fight on the card. So I really basically just caught it for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last 6 fights of the card. The last like 6 fights of the card I caught. Missed everything. But I woke up having had Cody Steele win by submission and Wes Schultz win his fight. I woke up over $1,000. So, good feeling. Didn't have to get up early. Still won the money. Still won the bets.
I can only imagine the only wins I had this weekend were on the billiards table. Myself, I kind of took Luke for all he was worth. I almost took that $5,000 from him. If we had a little bit more time in there, I probably would have, because he was just thinking it had to come up black one of those times, and that's talking about his hat. But it didn't, and I went undefeated in pool this weekend. Made a quick buck, and that's just about the only win I had.
Home wrecking knee knocker. I can just tell you that I am through the moon excited for this weekend's fights. I love the stakes. I love the who even knows if it'll happen. I'm getting feelings of like Arman versus Islam. I'm getting feelings of like Chimaev versus Diaz, where like this fight might not be the main event this weekend. We might end up getting Arman versus Benoit Saint Denis as the main event or something. I mean, it could be like really anything could happen here. I'm like not confident that this fight comes to fruition. The stakes just feel too high. I mean, Chimaev's playing it pretty cool, acting like what Strickland is saying isn't bothering him. But as the weight cut begins, as his mind begins to shift, he will become very bothered. And I don't think Sean is done talking and saying things. I do not think that even if Sean doesn't have to worry about Chimaev, there's plenty of people in North Jersey, right outside of New York City, that are going to have a problem with what Sean Strickland's been saying. He could be poisoned. He could be. I
mean, Khamzat Chimaev said himself, New Jersey is his home. There's more people that are like-minded to him than there are in than there are to Sean Strickland, which is a shocker to me.
Yeah, Google's AI, which has been wrong before. It says Newark, New Jersey hosts a vibrant and diverse Muslim community with estimates of population of around 25,000. 4% of the religiously affiliated population in the Newark market area, which is higher than the national average. Yeah, and honestly, if they can,
a lot of people,
if they got 25,000 that they know about, there's more. They're not too good. Newark's not like a good state at taking censuses, and Newark isn't a great community at responding to censuses either. So, I don't think this fight's gonna happen. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I don't think it's gonna happen. I would say if there was a bet to make on it, I would bet the fight doesn't take place.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the vibe that we were getting.
And Sean didn't just piss off the Muslim community. He said stuff about Erica Kirk. He said stuff about JD Vance. He said stuff about people from the regions calling their countries third world. He said stuff about, Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen might poison his ass.
Yeah, Brendan Allen was catching strays left and right. I don't exactly know why.
I'm Brendan Allen. I go, Sean, it's a tax write-off. Okay, I make my vehicle my business vehicle, and then I can I can depreciate that thing on my taxes, Sean. I put my fucking Instagram handle on my truck. Now it's a business vehicle. Now I can write it off on my taxes. Think, Sean. Live free or die.
Yeah, that was probably the most surprising part of this whole fight week, fight scrums. That some of these happened last week, but that had to be the most surprising part. Just that Brendan, I don't know what the relation is. Maybe Killcliff. Has Hamzat been at Killcliff? Last I saw, he hangs out with Bear DeGidio in his spare time. Bear DeGidio, one of my North Stars, but. I have no idea why he was even brought into the mix, but it is what it is.
Like I said last week, if you're a purple belt, you need white belts to beat on. If you're a black belt, you need purple belts to beat on. So, I think we should just get ready into next weekend. I don't want to. I want to make sure I shout out Carlos Prates. I think that was an absolutely amazing performance. You were so right, Alex. He beat the ever loving shit out of JDM, and I don't know if
you showed me a great stat last week about welterweight champions in particular on how they, after they lose the belt, they've gone to at least 3 fight losing streaks since Robbie Lawler, which, feels like 10 years ago. It probably actually was more than 10 years ago that Robbie Lawler was champion, but that feels like forever ago. And there's probably been 5 different champions since then. And all of them have gone on 3 fight losing streaks that have gotten 3 fights since they've lost their belt. So, I mean, after I saw that, it's like you always mention that quote from Habib, where you can only hit your peak once. Welterweight seems like a hard way to do it at. You have to go through hell and back just to get to the title shot. I mean, ask guys like Leon Edwards, ask guys like Bilal Muhammad, who had to go on like 10 fight winning streaks just to even get a contender matchup. So, I mean, after seeing that, definitely skewed my opinion. But Carlos Prates, I mean, if cigarettes don't kill this guy, what can?
Yeah, so it was 2016 when 10 years ago when Robbie lost the welterweight title. And since then, I mean, it went Robbie Lawler to Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks went 1-5 after losing the title. Tyron Woodley never won another MMA fight after losing the belt to Usman. Usman lost to Edwards, followed by a 3 fight losing streak. Leon Edwards lost to Bilal, 3 fight losing streak. And Bilal has been on a 2 fight losing streak since losing the belt. So only fought twice. Jack is in good company in that regard. But once I saw that stat, and also, I've always been a Carlos Prates believer. I just kind of thought, who do I respect more, JDM or Ian Gary? Could JDM kind of put on a point kind of fight and not get knocked out? I thought so. But JDM,
I hate to be every cuck on the internet who all has been having the same overwhelming sentiment, but how good is Ian Gary now? Like, we got to look at how good Ian Gary is. He kind of made Carlos Prates look easy minus the last, minute and a half of that fight.
And I'll say something no one's saying about that fight. That fight was a draw because Carlos clearly won rounds 4 and 5. Ian won rounds 1, 2, and 3. Not unbelievably. Like, he wasn't like doing damage. He just kind of lulled him.
That fight on super short notice, I believe.
He just kind of lulled him to sleep over the first 3 rounds. So, okay, let's say you give the first 3 rounds to Ian. You definitely give the second to Prates. And the way in which Prates won round 5 was much more dominantly than any of rounds 1, 2, or 3 that Ian won. So how do you not rule it a 10-8? He dropped them. Ian, there was an image of Ian literally crawling on his all fours to the cage after being dropped. I mean, that was a dominant 10-8 round. He was getting smashed on the ground afterwards. I believe that fight was a draw. I think that truly should not have been a loss on Prates' record. Should have been a draw. And either way, I love Prates. I love what he's doing. Don't know that he will be able to. I don't not know it, but I just, there's just some unanswered questions about his wrestling game. Who's he really beaten that's a great wrestler? He's fought JDM, Ian Gary, Leon Edwards, Jeff Neal. He hasn't fought no wrestlers.
Yeah. No.
And there is no wrestler like the likes of Islam Makhachev, really. So, but either way, amazing performance. Loved Quinlan Salkild's performance. Love seeing the old guys.
You just got to hope Ian Gary gets that matchup. Islam wins. Islam is going to retire. Yeah. Or fights Ilya Taporia, loses the belt to Ilya, and Ilya doesn't want to stay at 170. He's like, this was just a side quest to beat up on one of the greats in the sport's history.
And that's the thing, how do you even really give Ilya the 170-pound title shot with so many names floating around? You got Ian Gary is going to fight next, then Prates waiting in the wing, then Marlon What's his name?
Something Moraes.
Marlon Morales.
No, it's not Marlon. Marlon is the different guy.
Yeah, why can't I think of his name? Guys, I drank every brain cell away this weekend. Shouldn't even be doing the podcast today, but here we are. It's Michael Morales.
Michael Morales.
All right. All right, let's get into this week's card. We got a big one. It's gonna be so much fun. I love a lot of fights on this card. I'm so excited to watch it. Clayton Carpenter taking on Jose Ochoa. Jose Ochoa from Peru just recently lost to Asu
Max
Amabaya.
Rajkov.
Max Roche, yes, Max Roshkov. Entering the UFC, losing to Loner Kavanaugh, then he knocks out Cody Durden, a part of his, bit of a losing streak until he redeemed himself most recently. Then he loses to Asu Amabaya 9 months ago, and now he's coming up against Clayton Carpenter, who came into the UFC, off the Contender Series and got a submission win against Juan Camilo Ronderos, submission win against Lucas Rocha, and then loses to Tagir Ulanbekov. He fought him valiantly in the same way that Bo Nickel tried to actually beat Josh Hockett. He tried to beat Tagir Ulanbekov, fought valiantly in that fight and lost. And then he lost to Rafael Filo by submission 6 months ago. If I'm looking at this fight, I really like the odds on Carpenter. I like that he's a slight underdog. It's an early enough fight in the night. He's a little dog shot I want to take. I think Clayton Carpenter is tough as hell. I think if you lose to guys like Kavanaugh and Alabayev, I don't see why you can't lose to Clayton Carpenter. He's equally as inexperienced, 8-2 both sides, but I just think Clayton Carpenter is a little bit more of like a heartier grappler and a little bit older and could potentially just kind of big bro him a little bit in there and make this a more boring fight, but kind of catch him flat-footed and put him to the ground and take him down. So it's not like I don't believe in Ochoa or think he's a good prospect. I do, but I think that the strength of schedule advantage and the results with the strength of schedule to me go to Clayton Carpenter. He's got more UFC fights. He's fought better UFC opponents. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. It's hungry dog runs faster. I like the plus 40 odds. I'm taking Clayton Carpenter.
Yeah, I'm going with Clayton Carpenter as well. I mean, you look at South America, you look at their jiu-jitsu game, it ain't good unless there's a green, yellow, and blue flag flying behind him. I think Clayton Carpenter is going to go out there, impose his will, impose the grappling, and I think he can even come out of this with a decision a la Cody Steele. He's going to go out there and, wrestle fuck this guy. I mean, as you said, Luke, he's definitely going to be the thicker, more imposing strength fighter in this fight. So I'm going with Clayton Carpenter for sure.
And I think he's just he's going to fight smarter on the feet. He's a good enough striker and smart enough on the feet to protect himself and not get knocked out. And I think he's more skilled in the grappling and the wrestling and can get the fight to the ground at opportune moments. All we need is Ochoa to kind of not have a sense of urgency and have 2 minutes tick by in the first round, and Carpenter get him down for 2 minutes, without taking very much damage on the feet in 2 of the 3 rounds. And that's kind of how I see it going. All right, next we got Khamzat's boy Baisengor Sursakayev, 11-0, taking on Jordan Santos. Sursakayev is going to have a massive height, or not massive, but a big height and reach advantage. He beat Eric McConaughey by knockout. He beat Eric Nolan by knockout within a week. He won on the Contender Series on August 12th, turned right around and submitted Eric Nolan in 4 days later. Then he fought 3 months later and knocked out Eric McConaughey in the 3rd round. So we've seen him beat guys in the UFC promotion round 1, round 2, and round 3. I think he beats Jordan Santos. What's interesting about Jordan Santos is he has never been finished. I think he could get finished here, but he lost a decision to Ozzy Diaz in his debut. Ozzy Diaz, who absolutely sucks. Then he beats Danny Barlow, who I thought was pretty good. He did get knocked out by Sam Patterson, but with his first couple wins against Josh Quinlan, Nikolai Veretennikov, even his Contender Series win against Raheem Forrest, I thought this guy would be a much better prospect, but then loses to Jordan Santos. I'm going to go with Sirsaikaev, but he's a giant favorite. It's really a no-bet situation. The only question is, do we get a little bit of a juiced line? Good odds on him to win by finish since Santos has never been finished? Or do we say, are the odds better on decision? And do we kind of lean that way and say you take Sirsaikaev by decision instead? I'm going Sirsaikaev either way. He's the pick.
Yeah, I accidentally read the line backwards at first. I was super confused how Sirsaikaev was such a big dog, but my eyes were playing tricks on me. Yeah, he's a huge favorite, -650. A lot of people, I thought that they'd be a little bit more nervous to be so confident in this guy. I mean, he hasn't really blown our hair back, so to say. He hasn't blown us. It's sure, Eric McConaughey had a great performance in his last bout, but I just, that's Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo Vieira sucks. He has a split decision win over Cody Brundage. Everybody else that he's fought, not necessarily, the highest caliber of competition. It took him 3 rounds to get him out of there. Give me Sirsaikaev, though. I think that is the only pick here. And yeah, like Luke said, you got to just hope that since this guy's never been finished before, maybe you can get a good line on Sirsaikaev by finish. Although, I mean, do you even feel confident in that? Because, like I said, he hasn't necessarily blown us away with his last few performances. But I'm taking Sirsaikaev, huge favorite here. And, I don't necessarily believe that there's a crazy amount to warrant how big of a line that he's getting there. But you got to go with him. It's just the right pick.
Hey, Carrie, nice to see you. Hope you enjoyed the fights this morning. Yeah. Oh, and we have a surprise for everybody. We're going to bring to the studio Casual Adam. Casual Adam, the Flyers are in their first period intermission, I guess. Here he is.
No, they're actually in the second period. I'm just dedicated.
That's awesome. That's because I know you're a big Flyers guy. So they're still up 2-1. You got them playing on a side screen. You can keep us bereft of the game or no?
It's right here.
Perfect. Let us know. With the. We'll know if you go.
If you hear me scream, they scored.
Let's go, baby. So we were just talking about the first 2 fights, but now we're getting into a really interesting fight that I'm super excited to watch. I think this is going to be like a very interesting matchup. So you got Pat Sabatini versus William Gomis. William Gomis looking like who's Urkel's alter ego? Alphonse? Stefan. He looks like Stefan Urkel, the alter ego of one Stephen Urkel. Did I do that? Yes, I did, and I'm going to do it again. But here's the thing. Here's the measurables that I see here. Sabatini, 35 years old at 145. To Gomis is 28. 7-year age gap puts him in a losing category. The younger fighter, especially at these weight classes, wins way more often than not. Then you look at height. 5'8" to 6 foot. 70-inch reach to 73-inch reach. What I like about Sabatini is his last 3 fights have been quite impressive. Beating Anderson Brito, beating Chepe Mariscal. He hasn't lost in 2.5 years, except to Diego Lopez. William Gomis only lost a split decision to Hyder Emil a year and 2 months ago, but he just beat Robert Uchala 7 months ago and beat Anderson Brito as well a year and 7 months ago. Before that, even though he's got 7 knockout wins and 7 decision wins, he's only had 1 knockout win in the UFC, and that was by body kick to Giannis Gamori. At the time, 12-1, 2 years, 7 months ago. What I also saw that was interesting, William Gomis has a heel hook submission loss to Morgan Charrier. Now, that was in 2016. That was 10 years ago. If you know, you know. But I'm at first, and I even have a parlay that I kind of just threw in with some petty cash that was in my account that includes Sabatini. However, now that I'm looking at this in my lab, in my zone, I'm kind of thinking Gomis can pull this off because Sabatini really, he won against Chepe Mariscal. I didn't see the whole fight. I was walking into Madison Square Garden that November when, for that fight, I was walking into Madison Square Garden, saw it on the screens as I was getting to my seats. And what I saw on the screen, Sabatini got kicked in the head, is what I saw. And I think dropped by Chimaev Mariscal. So I'm gonna go William Gomis here. But I think it's gonna be a I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting fight. If Sabatini can go out there and really dominate in round one, I kind of see that being the fight. But if he can't get Gomis to the ground, I can see Gomis coming out with a knockout of some kind. And I kind of think guys from the Philly area, maybe this is just because it's on that night, Sabatini not only got kicked in the head, but Sean Brady, trains at the same gym as him, got knocked the fuck out by Michael Morales. So I kind of think that the whole Philly to North Jersey, Philly to New York kind of pipeline, it means, a lot of your friends and family are going to be there. There's no such thing as a home field advantage. It's a home field disadvantage. You got people hitting you up for tickets. Newark is a shithole. If I had to go to Newark, I'd be all upset. But if I was from Paris, France, I'd be like, oh, shit. It's like being right at home. So I'd be like, oh, look at all these. I can't say it. But, France is under siege. Let's just say that. France is under siege. So we're going with William Gomis on my side. Age, height, dynamicism on the feet.
I mean, listen, this is another one of my sweetheart fights. Like I like both these guys a lot. I love watching both of them fight, and it brings me no pleasure to go against Pat Sabatini. We've been fans of him here for a long time. So for me, I gotta roll with my man Lukey here. I'm going with William Gomis as well. I mean, but in reality, nobody in the world has been more complimentary of William Gomis than me, whether it be his looks, whether it be his fight style. I'm all about me some William Gomis. He should be a movie star. Get fucking Cyril Gahn's Ophi looking ass out of those movies. Start throwing William Gomis in there. He's a good looking guy. He's a great fighter. Sometimes he lets things go a little close. And I thought he won that Hyder Emil fight. And Luke, I thought Pat Sabatini might have lost to Chimaev Mariscal as well. So I know Pat Sabatini had a lot of really good moments in that, but all the moments that stood out to me were Chepe, and that head kick being one of them. So maybe, I'm just getting a little biased based on a couple of good shots, but you never know how these judges are going to call it. Some of them, love wrestlers, and I'm sure if one of these guys with a Hamza Chimaev beard goes out there and lays on somebody for 5 rounds, they'll, support that more than if William Gomis is laid on for 13 minutes and a half, but, does some decent striking on the feet. You never know which way is up with these guys. So I'm going with William Gomis. I think that he's got a great style. He does, get taken down every now and then, but I think he'll be able to get it done against Sabatini. Adam?
What do you think, Adam?
I didn't do a great amount of research on the prelims. I only did my research on the main card, but based off what you guys are saying, got to go Gomis, right? Like, I hate to not take the American, but
Philly guy, we got Phillies, we got the Flyers, we got the Sixers in the playoffs.
It's kind of a boner to not take the American here, but got to go with Gomis. Sounds like he's just the better all-around fighter. I'll ride with him. Why not? Let's make him Triple P certified.
Beautiful. Next, we got Roman Kopylov versus Marco Tulio. Alex, what do you think about this one?
This is a tough one because we've seen Roman Kopylov kind of struggle with those power punchers in some of his fights. He doesn't give the best body language, and sure, Anthony Hernandez broke him in that fight, but that's a completely different situation. I don't think Marcus Tulio is going to be able to break Roman Kopylov. I have a lot of respect for him. You just worry because Marcus Tulio can sling some leather. I mean, look at this. 10 of his wins are by knockout. So, you always get a little worried taking Roman Kopylov in these types of spots because he doesn't take damage very well. I mean, you think about him versus Paulo Costa. You think about him versus who else? Who did he just fight? Gregory Rodriguez, where he's not really giving the best body language when he's taking these punches. It's kind of like Luke references for a lot of fighters. He's a bit of a wincer. And when you're Winston in there, the refs see it, the crowd sees it, everybody sees it, and they think that those punches are just as bad as you do. So I'm going with Roman Kopylov. I am a little concerned on this one just based off of Marco Tulio's power. I think that he's got a lot of power, and he can mix it up quite a bit. So give me Roman Kopylov. I like his style. I think there's a chance he can keep this on the outside. Give me Roman Kopylov.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Kopylov. I like the odds. I like that he's a slight underdog coming off 2 losses. He looked really good against Chris Curtis. He looked really good against Cesar Almeida. He lost to Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa is proven to be a fucking force to reckon with coming up.
I hate these Haitians.
Yeah, I mean, Gregory Rodriguez, obviously always high on him. I saw that fight play out live. Roman Kopylov versus Gregory Rodriguez. Look, if Kopylov loses this one, it's maybe he won't return to form. It looked like he was kind of coming up in potential a little bit, but Tulio just got knocked out 5 months ago. I think Kopylov is a really competent striker. If he comes in at his best, he can get the win.
Adam?
If you know me, like 99% of the time, I'm going with the Russian in a fight. This is that 99% of the time. I'm going with Kopylov. Not to say that Marco isn't a tough fighter, because he absolutely is. I just think Kopylov has better striking and better fighting knowledge than Marco does, and I think that's going to come real in handy.
All right. Next, we got Jared Gordon versus Jim Miller. Jim Miller coming into the UFC for the 45th time. 37 plus 3, 5, 45th. This will be his 46th UFC fight. He wants to get to that number 50, I believe, is what he said. So 50 fights. These last 5. This will be he's got 5 to go. These last 5 might be harder than his first 20 combined, because he's 42 years old and 8 months, fighting at lightweight. Might need to move up in weight, but I don't know that it gets any easier for him at 170. 5'8", taking on Jared Gordon, who's 5'9". 3 inches of reach on Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon just got knocked out by Rafa Garcia, who looked really great against Alexander Hernandez. Before that, he knocked out Thiago Moises. Before that, he lost split decision to Nazareth Hapcras. Before that, he knocked out Marco Madsen and got knocked out by Bobby Green. They tried to steal that from Bobby with the no contest. Clash of heads. That's some bullshit, if you ask me. I'm not going to take Jared Gordon at minus 315. Although Jim Miller's 37, this guy's 42. This guy's 37. Doesn't have
and an admitted former drug
doper,
addict.
Former doper.
That puts a lot of wear and tear on the body. I mean, Jersey Jerry's younger than me, and his brain moves slower than molasses in January.
Agreed. So I'm going to go with Jim Miller here just for the juice and the odds. He's by no means a parlay pillar, by no means somebody that I'm putting into any real parlay. More just a fight I want to sit and watch. I think this is a good old-fashioned unk-off. But Jim Miller, he surprises a lot of people, and I think Jared Gordon will come in thinking the fight is going to be easier than it ends up being. And I think the element of surprise will be big. First round, Jim Miller, I think, beats first round Jared Gordon. I think he can catch him with a knockout or even crack him and submit him. Give me Jim Miller for this one.
I'm also going to take Jim Miller just purely based on experience. Jared Gordon's not too far away from it, but I think Jim Miller just has more time on his feet in the octagon. I think he has more practice and sparring time. I'm going to go Jim Miller.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Gordon, a vet of 16 fights, but Jim Miller, 46th UFC fight. Quite the feat. Did get the shit beat out of him by Bobby Green.
It's actually his 47th, Luke. I believe that he had a no contest in there as well. Jim Miller.
Oh, okay.
I think I took
he did.
Jim Miller in
did
that fight against Bobby Green.
Against Pat Healy in 2013. So this will be his 47th. Okay. So after this, he's got 3 to go. And Dana White said we will give him 50 fights. We will give him his 50th fight.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, Only if he deserves it, is what I would say. But
Well,
like we're not in here just like
they're gonna roll Tai Tuivasa out to get an 8th loss. I think,
Don't even get me started on Tai Tuivasa still being in the UFC.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
It's despicable.
Hopefully that was his last rodeo. But
sure hope so.
Nobody likes seeing Tai Tuivasa lose more than I do. So like, although I didn't have him losing in that fight, I'm very supportive.
He was partying on a balcony with Jack Della Maddalena, and Tai was in high spirits. But Jack in the video, he's like, "We also got this man here," and Jack was just sitting with his leg elevated, looking out the balcony, and the caption on Parry Punch was Tai getting lit after his loss, while Jack looks like he's contemplating jumping off the balcony.
That's so funny. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with Jared Gordon on this one, Flash Gordon. I agree with everything you guys are saying. I hope Jim Miller wins. Jared Gordon's never done anything wrong by me. Nothing against him, but for some reason, I just don't like him. Like sometimes you have somebody, and I used to like him. When he was first coming up, I thought he was an inspirational guy, but I don't know what he did. I can't remember the exact instance of his actions that led me to not really liking him, but I'm going with him in this one. Jim Miller's old as dirt. He's very, very small. I mean, you would think that Jared Gordon is going to dwarf him in there, but according to Tapology, he's only 1 inch taller and he's got a 3 inch shorter reach. So maybe I'm completely off by this. I feel like the night of the fight, Jared Gordon is going to look a little bigger.
It feels wrong. And Jim Miller at 42 might have shrunk.
It's definitely wrong. Like there's no possible way. And Luke, we're all short kings around here. You more so than the rest of us, but these short kings, they usually pump up their stats a little bit. They need to have somebody swipe right on Tinder. So they got to say that they're at least 5'8", 5'9", when it's like Joe Rogan, Joe Hoagies goes out there. He tells everybody he's 5'10". He's shorter than Rose Namajunas. So I don't exactly know. In shoes. He's in shoes. Rose Namajunas is bare feet after the fight. He's just as tall as her. So I don't know. I don't know what these stats are, what these intangibles or tangibles. I've never even been able to understand that. I don't know if there's any accuracy to these, but I feel like Jared Gordon's going to come in there much bigger on the eve of the fight. So give me Jared Gordon.
Justin Villegas in the chat. I think he's talking about Casual Adam here. Josh Hutcherson, bro. Hunger Games and the latest 5 Nights at Freddy's. Much love, bro. Don't know who that actor is. Kind of out of the movie scene myself. Haven't
Hunger
watched
Games. PETA from Hunger Games, bro.
Your PETA from Hunger Games is what he's saying.
PETA.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, hey. Next, we got Grant KGD. And you know what? I kind of also want to switch to Jared Gordon too, but not at those odds. It's a stay away from me. I'll sprinkle a little solo action on Jim Miller and call it a day, but not really a bettable fight. I'll pick Jim Miller for the sake of the show, just to,
Yeah.
Grant KGD Dawson versus Mateus Rebecki. Now, this one's interesting because although they have a common opponent in Diego Ferreira, somebody a year and 3 months ago, Grant Dawson, his last win, beat by decision, he knocked out Mateus Rebecki a year and 11 months ago. I remember Mateus Rebecki, though, from that amazing war with Mikkelbeck Oralby, a fight which, they both looked like they had fought with fucking hatchets by the end of it. Great fight. The same night, I believe, that Ilia Topuria knocked out Max Holloway and Robert Whitaker got his jaw broken by Khamzat Chimaev. I was at your apartment, Alex. Great fight. Absolute war. Since then, lost to Chris Duncan by decision and Ludovic Klein by just majority decision. I think Mateus Rebecki's got to run fast here. Hungry Dog runs fast. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He's got to win. I don't see Grant Dawson knocking him out. I don't see Grant Dawson out grappling him. And with a common opponent where one is won and one is lost, why is Grant Dawson only a -150 slight favorite? Grant Dawson was once thought to be a really amazing prospect, entering as a main event fighter against King Green. He got knocked out instantly. And then, his 3 wins are bookended by hilarious early knockouts in which I think he was the favorite. Manuel Torres fucking smoked him, fucking slimed him out, just like Bobby King Green did. I kind of think Rebecca will slime him out. I think Rebecca will just eat everything Grant has to throw, punch him hard as fuck, Polish power, Polish forehead, gonna just close the distance and knock this bitch out along the fence. Give me Rebecca by knockout. Grant Dawson's not gonna hump him like he tried doing to Joe Selecki. That's his only path to victory. Grant Dawson's a big-time humper, big-time crotch sniffer. Give me Mateus Rebecca as an underdog to get the win.
Yeah, you guys know me. I love my polls. I do love the polls. I'm a big Polish power type of guy. And you look back at Grant Dawson's career, that knockout from Bobby Green, which I called, by the way, I called that. I knew that was going to happen. Maybe not as quick as it did, but I knew that was going to happen. And I told the world that on the eve of that fight. I'm going with Mateus Rebecca. You look back at Grant Dawson, every time this guy has lost, it's been by knockout. Most of his wins have come by decision. 13 of the 23 wins on his record have come by submission. Other 5 of them being decision and 5 of them being KO. You're not knocking out homeboy Mateus Rebecca. And on the opposite end, Mateus Rebecca has never been submitted ever once in his career. So I can really only see Grant Dawson's path to victory being a decision, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold down Mateus Rebecca for 3 rounds, and he's not going to be able to strike with Mateus Rebecca. I don't even think he really gets too many takedowns off. He's just way too hearty, way too big, way too strong, and I think Mateus Rebecca knocks Grant Dawson out unconscious, round 2.
I'm absolutely going Rebecca as well. I also love my Polish fighters. I think Rebecca slimes him in either round 1 or 2. It's by whatever the hell he wants, honestly. Rebecca's going to not kill him, but it's probably going to be a one-sided affair.
And Rebecca does slow down, but I don't think it needs to. I mean, Grant Dawson is relatively impotent. Like, how does he win the fight? Like, is he going to be able to take down and hold down Rebecca?
Rebecca's thick.
He's a bowling ball. How are you going to hold down the moon? All right. So Triple B certified Mateus Rebecca. Next, we got always ready to give me that Becky. Last time it was so good, I almost crashed my Bentley. Mateus Rebecca. Next, we got Joel Alvarez versus Yaroslav Amosov. What do you think? I mean, I can go first. I think I have another kind of hot take here.
Go right ahead.
I think Joel Alvarez fucking slimes him out. I mean, you got one guy who's just all gas, no brakes with the knockouts. This guy, he's got 9 knockout wins, but if you look into some of them, one was a doctor stoppage. Keep going down. The rest are kind of in other promotions. But I got to believe some of those knockout wins took place with ground and pound, right? His last 3 wins, he choked out Neil Magny, choked out Curtis Melander, both with anaconda chokes, both in round 1. But then his most recent Bellator fight before getting to the UFC gets knocked out in round 3. Then goes to a couple decisions, many decisions, both two decisions against Logan Storley. Gets a win by cut stoppage. Decision win against Ed Ruth, Penn State Nittany Lion Ed Ruth, a great American wrestler. Darce chokes Kevin Rickles. Decision. Chokes out Nathan Oliver. Chokes out Diego Cavalcante. Split decision again. I mean, I have to go back to 2016 when this guy got a win by punches, right? I have to go back all the way to 2016 where this guy's win had something to do with, a knockout. And even then, it says punches. It doesn't say that he fucking knocked him out with a head kick, for example, right? Alvarez, I mean, I think this guy's going to be hard to knock out. He's from the Ukraine, but I think Alvarez can put on a striking fucking clinic through a few rounds here. I mean, his last loss was to Arman Sarukian 4 years, 2 months ago. Hasn't put up the best activity, but has recently gotten, over the last 2 years, a couple, good wins in there. He knocked out Evel Brenner. He submitted Mark Chikasi, knocked out Jakar Close. He beat Vincente Luque 6 months ago by decision, who just beat Kelvin Gastelum. So 6'3" to 5'11", 77 inches of reach to 75. I'm going with the 52% of Tapology and taking the underdog here, Joel Alvarez. I just think he's more deadly on the feet and competent enough on the ground to not get caught in a submission. So that'll be like my fourth underdog so far. I mean, Clayton Carpenter is an underdog. Gomes is an underdog. Kopolov is an underdog. Miller's an underdog. Rebecki's an underdog. Now Alvarez is an underdog. I'm going with a lot of dogs through these prelims.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The Ukraine is weak. I think it's time somebody put a hurting on the Ukraine. Seinfeld, Adam, you wouldn't understand. It was before your time.
I love Seinfeld. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is that biology's alive, dude? Is thicker. Lukey looks like a cowboy. The sheriff comes up more like a PG&E guy in the Texas checking meters, doing data wear the hat because yeah, that's fair.
Hey. Say what you want, Justin, California hellhole. Okay, you don't know nothing about being a cowboy. Me and my friends, we actually fled California and moved to Texas, where the real cowboys live, the home of the free. Austin, Texas, of course, the least liberal city you can find there. Home of the free, land of the brave. Don't tread on me. Okay,
us three here, we are fucking cowboys because me and Alex grew up on a farm, and Adam has a chicken coop in his fucking backyard. So we are three cowboys.
Let me ask you, Justin, what would you put in your car? A Galeo 16 or a Galeo 24? Get back to me on that.
Joel Alvarez is better dog of the night. I know. I'm kidding. You look good. You do. You look good. You know where these hats came from, my friend? Where real cowboys get their hat? 7-Eleven. Oh, Adam's got a couple of white hats and a black hat.
Yeah.
Let me put myself in the middle here. There we go.
Yeah, now we're reverse Oreo.
So yeah, did you pick? I'm sorry.
I'm picking Joel Alvarez myself. Like I said, it's time to put a hurting on the Ukraine. This guy, he's been through some I know he only has one loss, but he's been through like sincere war. He had to go back to his house and find his belt in some rubble. So I don't know. That takes years off a man's life, years off a man's mental. And I know that Joel Alvarez is older here, but I know he looks like Andrew Scholes. But I'm going with Joel Alvarez. He's too slippery on his back. Even when he's on his back, he's throwing elbows like crazy, slicing guys open. And yeah, I think like he throws thudding strikes on the feet. He's going to have a huge reach advantage, a huge height advantage. He's disappointed me in the past, but I love Joel Alvarez. I just can't quit him.
Yeah. And dude, there's some sick. I mean, Clayton Carpenter versus Ochoa, 2-8-2 guys, two guys that are new to the UFC but young and have like a lot of upside. Chimaev, 11-0, undefeated, trains with Hamzat, real big beast. Gomes versus Sabatini, Kopolov versus Tulio, like Dawson versus Rebecki, Jim Miller versus Strickland. Like every fight on the prelims is fucking sick. These are just great matchups. I mean, we got this guy's 29-1 versus 23-3. These are, like champion level records that these guys have. Sure, they haven't fought the best competition over their careers, but yeah, I think, yeah.
It's just crazy to me that you guys are picking size on someone on May the 4th when Yoda wasn't some 3-foot Jedi master crushing Sith Lords, and you guys are going to be like, ooh, 5'11 versus 6'3". Size does not matter. I'm taking the Ukrainian. They've had a dog in them for years against Russia. Have they been winning? I don't know. But guess what? Taking the Ukrainian over Yoel Alvarez. I'm doing it. I got to do it.
Hey, that's good. I like that. And you should have seen the giant I took out on Saturday night after you left the wedding. I mean, it was I had somebody try to pull me off my bar stool. He towers over me. Guy got a whole foot of height over me. And then, everybody tried to gaslight me into thinking I was the bully. It was the craziest thing that you'd ever seen. But, I had to.
Then White Hat had to come in and break things up a little.
Yeah. May the Dorketh nerd.
Happily. I'm happily a nerd.
Do you like
this
the new
nerd bench is 275, motherfucker?
Do you like the new Star Wars? But you just said size doesn't matter, so.
Yeah. It doesn't. I'm 5'9".
Wait, he said, hold on. He said, I grew up, I don't know, just give me a pickup truck. I grew up on a kind of farm, born in Cali, country Mexican chicken fighting
Yeah,
style.
Callie, you and your friends having a cockfight in your cat litter box in school. They give kids litter boxes in school to use the bathroom in California when they identify as cats.
They do that in Jersey too, though. Sadly, they're doing that. They're doing that just about everywhere.
That's why I escaped to Texas.
Every state has social media brainwashing these youths nowadays. All right, so me and Alex are on Alvarez. Adam's on Amosov. Amosov is good. I mean, I did see him fight against Neil Magny. He made it look quick and easy, but others have as well. Atepa Gaultier versus Ozzy Diaz. This is the Lamb to Slaughter fight. Huge favorite, minus 1,000, Atepa Gaultier. And this is why I think some of these slight underdogs are going to win, because I kind of look at the whole card as like a market. And as huge favorites win, it sort of inflates the bubble of favoritism, which means that like there's going to be a certain amount of underdogs that win every night. So sometimes people will go, oh, this line is so outstretched. It is so outstretched, but he'll still win, which means that the it's kind of like, let's say the favorites are black and the underdogs are red on roulette, and it's like black, 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 black. Well, this is like 10 blacks in a row, like black, 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 black. And then Diaz isn't going to be the one red yet, but this is
maybe we use this analogy for a different fight.
I kind of see what you're saying, but you guys know what I'm saying. But Gaultier he's just like, he's the equivalent of like it coming up black like 10 times in a row. He's a 10-1 favorite. So then it's like, that's why you get like some like slight, dogs, like Alvarez dog wins, Rebecca slight dog wins, all these like less than plus 200 dogs kind of make up for the Sursurkayev minus 650, the Gaultier minus 1,000. Like, it'll still on average, if you take like the average line, these outliers make it possible for the slight dogs to be more frequent, right? That's kind of how I see it. Then here's what says, I'm actually an actuarial scientist and a statistician. And Luke, that is a complete horseshit because they're all non-correlated outcomes. You're wrong. Hey, you're wrong. My science, my data just hasn't, it's kind of like flat earth. You know what I mean? It's like, the science as it is today is the science, but it doesn't mean that the science can't be overturned, like it'll be someday what I'm saying, it'll be actually, they're not uncorrelated. They are correlated. You're right, Luke. One does have something to do with the other. Because it's humans that are setting the line and humans that are influencing the line. So it's not like this is a coin flip. This is a market. This is the greed of the stock market, right? It's like the stock goes up, 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 up. Why? Why does the stock keep going up? Because it starts going up for a reason. But then it keeps going up for no reason. You see what I'm saying? Like, people see it going up, so they go, oh, I'm going to buy that. You know what I mean? And then it makes it go up even more, as opposed to just a coin flip where it's just heads, tails, heads, tails. No, this is different. This is human-influenced numbers. So you have to account for human errors. The market is schizophrenic. Look into Warren Buffett. Look into Jimmy Buffett. And say to yourself, what would Jimmy Buffett do? Funny you should ask, Alex. I'd say, pour me something, darling.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go with Gutierrez as well. Ozzy Diaz, he looks like he's got a little Tristan Tate in the face a little bit. But
I see that.
I got to go with Atepa Gaultier here. I've been trying to find a way to fade this guy, but Ozzy Diaz is not the one. I think he gets a little bit closer to that top 25 range. That's going to be the perfect time to pull the trigger. I faded him in a few of these fights just because I don't believe in him. I think that a lot of these unproven talents coming out of Africa, they're good hammers. They're not good nails. Once somebody can withstand that early, no pun intended, storm that Atepa Gaultier has, he's going to run into some trouble. But Ozzy Diaz is not the one to take him into those deep waters. And I don't want to name the waters, but he's not going to be able to take him to the.
Well, let me say this: Ozzy Diaz is Mexican, and I'm not talking Guadalajara Mexican. I'm talking California Mexican. But he, does train at King's MMA. He does have much better grappling, much better grappling than Gaultier. And Andre Pulaev actually had success not only in the grappling, but on the feet against Gaultier after round 1. He ended up losing the fight, but the line shifted dramatically during that fight to the point where I think it went at one point live, Pulev was like plus 200. Like the line crashed on Gaultier after he couldn't. I think actually Pulev won round 1.
I bet on that fight live. I thought Pulev won that fight.
I think Pulev won round 1. So, I mean, it was, Gaultier did kind of prove that he has some cardio. He still faded big time. He got through the 3 rounds. He won the fight. But that is kind of what people have been sensing. Like, oh, he could lose. He could lose, the fight if he doesn't finish him really quickly. And I think Ozzy Diaz, he did get knocked out by Ming Ying Zhang. He got knocked out by Joe Pyfer in the Contender Series. He is knockoutable. He's not like, like Marab or like, one of these guys with just a brick for a head who just. So, but he's smart and he has grappling. If he brings out the fucking Aztec warrior Mexican spirit and fucking can get through round 1, he might be able to suck him down and get 2 rounds in the bank, just choking him or grappling him or doing something. I mean, this could be.
Hey, yo. He's going to suck him down and choke him, bro. What are you talking about?
100% Lukey.
Bomba clot.
What was this in regards to? Was this in regards to my whole markets talk?
It was the flat earth market talk. That's about time when I came in. Yeah. Okay.
We're not there yet, Justin. We're not there yet.
I don't know anything about
your horse.
I don't know anything about these 2 fighters, but I'll take a Tebow just because. Why not? I'll take him. I'll let it ride.
Yeah, it's a no bet. I mean,
I'm not touching this one.
You want to throw $10 on Ozzy Diaz to win 65, cover the cost of the pay-per-view,
It's free, dude. It's Paramount.
I know, but I always pretend.
Everybody.
I pretend it's not, and I just put $80. I take $80 and I light it on fire.
Other countries, even Canada, I believe still have to pay for pay-per-views.
Suck.
Yeah.
But
you get for that free healthcare, loser.
And I'd have Paramount. I'd have Paramount Plus anyway for the Paw Patrol.
I have it for Lioness. Good show. You should watch Lioness. Banger.
Lioness? What the fuck is that?
It's a show about like a secret like CIA group. It's pretty dope.
Okay. Well, I'm not really high on the CIA, so I don't like the glorification of the CIA. There's a show called CIA too.
It's not in a good light.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tip my in-laws off to it. They always need a good show. I got to keep them busy. It's like babysitting. You got to get your in-laws watching a TV series. Otherwise, they start watching Fox News, and then you got to calm them down every night. They're like, "Did you hear about
Brittany Griner?"
No. So let me tell you what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez just said.
She can say whatever she wants, in my opinion. let the girl have fun.
He's having all kinds of fun. All right. So we're all going with Gaultier, but it's not a bettable fight. Next,
it's funny because she hates Elon Musk so much, but they enjoy the same pastime. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Ketamine.
Oh, I don't know.
Allegedly.
So next we got a great fight, an unk-off, if you will. 39-year-old King Green versus 39-year-old Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens' only win in the last 4 years is against Miles Price in the PFL. Was a split decision. He almost, wasn't he supposed to fight somebody in bare knuckle? I think he did fight Mike Perry in bare knuckle.
He fought Mike Perry. He got stopped in the 5th round.
Got beat up. Wasn't he supposed to fight Frankie Edgar? Right?
Oh, that might have actually been the original fight, and Frankie Edgar was pissed because his family cares about his health and safety, and made him pull out of the fight.
That's right. And they did fight in the UFC, and Frankie beat him. But if they had, I was ready to. Jeremy Stephens was even a slight underdog, having lost to him in the UFC in bare knuckle. I just knew it was gonna be curtains for Frankie Edgar. So everybody else knew as well. That's why they didn't allow it to happen. But I was surprised that he was an underdog. I was going to lay the house on Jeremy Stephens to knock out Frankie in bare knuckle. But dude, he just lost to Mason Jones 11 months ago, but it was by decision, And then before that, got submitted. Hadn't fought in 3 years and got submitted in his last MMA loss. Lost to Mateus Gamrot in the UFC on his way out. Lost to Clay Collard. The way King Green's been looking, his win against Lance Gibson Jr., his amazing win 2 months ago against Daniel Zellhuber. I think he beats the fuck out of Jeremy Stevens. My only thing is Jeremy Stevens, little heathen, seems like you just look at him, you look at the smile, you look at the eyes, you just know he's got hate in his heart. You know what I mean? You know he's got a heart full of hatred. And I just think that, Bobby Green does a lot of tomfoolery in there. He does a lot of he's a big time stunt puller. He pulls a lot of stunts, and I think like Jeremy Stevens could just see red and just fucking run him down. You know what I mean? But I don't think so. I think, if people would have done it to Bobby Green better than Jeremy, and he is going to slip, he's going to move, he's going to stand, he's going to bang, he's going to pop, 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 boom, and he's going to bloody Jeremy Stevens up probably before finishing him with like a knee to the body or an elbow to the temple or something after peppered him up a lot. He's going to hurt him, like sting him to the body, and then boom, hit him with an elbow or something. And I'm taking King Green. I don't want to bring my ancestors' power into a fight. Aztec's not the best word. I'd rather embrace the power of my uncle Loke Dog, who, with that Vato cool scrap with anyone fool. Yeah, and shout out to Josh Hockett,
Crazy Vato.
Down Vato.
So, in the last card that I talked about that had King Green in it, I don't know what it is. I am not a huge fan of King Green. I don't like his style of fighting.
You don't like any hot dogs?
I don't like any hot dogs.
He's a hot dog.
I don't. I'm just not.
Prince Nassim.
I don't know what it is. I'm just not a huge fan of King Green. I don't like his attitude all that much. And is this a hate watch, essentially? Yeah, I want to see Jeremy Stevens smack that stupid shit off his face. I want Bobby Green to like Chimaev, and I want Stevens to just wind up and smack the shit out of him. I want to see it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is I have against King Green.
Well,
but
you know what I love about King Green? He takes care of his family, and he wants to be a better example for the youth than he had when he was a kid. And I think that is respectful. And I think that if you really peel back all of the antics, you'll find a really good man. There's, what won me over for Bobby Green during the racial riots of the 20s.
My Floyd.
During the racial riots of the 20s, Bobby Green took a fight in the pandemic era. He won his fight, and nobody asked him to do this, and he had no reason to do this. But you know what he did? He grabbed his coach, his adopted father, a white man, and he said, "Nothing is different from me or him, and we need to put all this hate down. I love this man. This man is like a father to me, and we all need to just put all the hate aside." And I thought that was really, at a moment when our country needed that, when we had others like Tyrion Woodley stoking division, Bobby Green brought us all together for a moment of congenial understanding.
See, I can separate the fighter and the person. As a person, it's a great thing to do. As a fighter, he just pisses me off.
I feel you.
I liked McGregor as a fighter, but his 4-year stint of being a shit person, hard to make up for that. But I liked him as a fighter. It's the same thing here.
Thinking, who the fuck is that guy, Jeremy Stevens?
Yes.
I can respect Bobby Green as a person and not like him as a fighter. And I'm here. I want to see Jeremy Stevens win.
When I knock people out, they don't move.
I avoid eating long food in public. Good guy. He owns a strip club. PCR repairman.
PCR repairman. Don't hate on theft workers. Come on.
Bro, what are these? First of all, if I owned a strip club, the girls would be treated nice. I would donate a percentage of the bar to an employee-funded healthcare and college fund plan. I would ensure that, unlike Dana White, I'd ensure those girls were taken care of after they are unfit to work from too many concussions. I would say, hey, long after you're unable to continue doing this job, I'm going to ensure that you got a 401k. You know what I mean? Maybe Bobby's doing some stuff like that. At the end of the day,
Yeah, and I'm sure Quentin Tarantino took good care of all the ladies in his movies as well, Luke, but they still had to show their feet to their boss every now and then.
Oh, it wasn't even just now and then. It was a lot.
It was only in every movie he's ever done ever. But my point is, at the end of the day, if there's going to be strip clubs,
he sucked on Selma Hayek's toes until dusk till dawn.
Be the change you want to see in the world. There's going to be strip clubs, whether Bobby Green owns one or not. At least what he can do is give people a safe environment to work and a safe environment to make money. And, what's worse, strip club or being a cage fighter. Bobby Green knows a thing or two about being a fucking whore for money and physically abusing his body, mind, and soul for $1. I mean, getting into a cage and getting what happened to him against Jalen Turner is a lot worse than a night of having to fucking dance on a smelly dude and walk away with $1,200. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, what would you rather do? Give me a lap dance or have Jalen Turner pin you down and beat the living fuck out of you for 15 minutes after you've already been knocked out? What would you rather do, Justin? Or not Justin, VCR repairman. I think he'd rather give me a lap dance. I shower and I smell nice and I'm very complimentary and I keep my hands at my side. Just say.
If King Green had a single sense of humor, he would have made his fight nickname Bobby. After all this, changing his regular name.
King Bobby Green.
His name's Bobby. His name's Bobby.
Hey. You sound like
I'm gonna send Cassius Clay on you. I'm gonna send Muhammad Ali on you. He's gonna say, "What's my name?" Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, exactly. You sound like fucking Sonny Liston or whomever said that. I forget which one it was, but yeah, I'm gonna go with King Bobby Green. I don't really, care for all the theatrics. I love Jeremy Stevens too.
Ernie Terrell is who Bobby Green famously in 1967 punished over the course of 15 rounds for refusing to call him by his Muslim name.
Okay.
And also
Muhammad Ali, not King Bobby Green.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go with King Green on this one. I love Jeremy Stevens. I love the fact that he's extending his career. I love that Jeremy Stevens is the only guy in UFC history who could just be like, yeah, I'm going to take a UFC fight, then I'm going to do a little bare knuckle, then I'm going to do a regular boxing match. Now I'm back in the UFC.
Yeah, how?
He's the only guy who's allowed to co-promote. Why? Don't know, but I love it. And I love
talk to Chael Sonnen, apparently, I guess with the right legalese and legal mindset, apparently you're allowed to do it because Chael Sonnen says all the time, he says, all the promoters know this. And he's like, all the promoters know this. There's no such thing as exclusivity in a contract. That's what he says.
Yeah, no doubt. But I'm going with King Green. Next up, we got Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. Luke, is it going to come up black again? Because you went 2 in a row. You said it could happen a million times. Is this another one?
Oh, I'm going with King Green. I said that.
No, I said Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. I said you did 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it red this time?
Joaquin Buckley is gonna slime Sean Brady out, dude. Sean Brady is so slimeable, dude. He got knocked out by Bilal Muhammad. He got slimed out by Michael Morales. Joaquin Buckley's on a mission from God. He is a new Mansa. He is going to fucking destroy Sean Brady, dude. Sean Brady had a broken nose in the interview I just watched him in. Okay. That means things ain't going well in camp. He's getting his fucking nose. His nose was like this, dude. Like, he's all fucked up. And then he tried to pull some shit in the interview by saying to Mike Heck, he goes, watch his interview with Mike Heck. Let me know what you think, Alex. He goes, yeah. I mean, like, I can't do the Philly accent. I can't do it. I've beaten it out of myself. I don't know what he says. He was like, yeah, the fight with Michael Morales, like, there was, I'm not going to take anything away from him. He came in, but I just wasn't locked in. I wasn't focused because there was some stuff going on fight week that really distracted me. And Mike Heck's like, hey, you can tell me to kick rocks, but like, what was it? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into detail, but it was something with the medicals where like, I didn't even know if I was going to fight until like Saturday, but like right before I left for the arena. Like, that's when I knew the fight was like definitely happening. And I'm like, what'd you do? Like, this is what I think happened. Listen to the interview. I think that leading up to the fight, he was like trying to get out of the fight. So he like, instead of putting the medicals in the mail, he lit them on fire and buried them in his backyard. And then he said, this is perfect. I'll show up for fight week and they'll look and at the weigh-ins, they'll be like, we don't have your medicals. And he'll be like, oh no. Oh, are you kidding me? I can't do it took so long to break myself of the Delco accent that I can't even do it anymore. But
yeah, we're gonna burn our medicals so they can't.
Phil are gonna be so pissed. So yeah, I think that it was some bullshit, and he shouldn't have even brought that fucking shit up. You got beat because you're not a good striker. You couldn't take him down. It has nothing to do with anything. Like being locked in, what are you talking about? So
I would have just straight up said it and been like, to be honest, I didn't want to take him down. After some of the viral videos I've seen of this guy, I think he'd only be in paradise if I took him down. So I was trying to keep my distance. I can't let you get close.
if you're gonna say some bullshit, say exactly what it was, because now it just leaves room for me to speculate. You know?
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
I walked in on Morales having a party after the weigh-ins, and I said, "Can we check this guy again? He might have some kind of STD."
You just go Southern. You just go crazy Southern.
I can't do it anymore. But anyway, I'm taking.
What the fuck was Joaquin Buckley doing wrestling Pat Downey in RAF? Yeah. Why would you do such a thing? Yeah, of course you're gonna get tech fouled.
Well,
and also, I think I made the national team.
And he has been training with Usman leading up to this fight. After his most recent loss, he's been training with Usman.
Wow, that's interesting.
But I think
that changes everything.
I think that Brady could have some success getting him to the ground. I think Buckley gets up. You know what I mean? Or I think he knocks him out before it even happens. He only got knocked out 5 months ago. So okay, you get knocked out cold bad 5 months ago. When did you start training again? Like, he didn't rest his brain enough. He's 33. He's got a big time reach disadvantage in this fight. He can't get close to Buckley without Buckley touching him and knocking him the fuck out. I think Buckley knocks him the fuck out.
Yeah, I think I think I have to agree with that. I mean, we put a lot on Joaquin Buckley losing to Usman, but you look at Usman's fucking losses, bro. It's like Khamzat Chimaev, Leon Edwards, when Leon Edwards was on a 13-fight win streak, 14-fight win streak, and one of those Leon Edwards fights, he beat the absolute shit out of him. And then the other fight with Leon Edwards, it was a majority decision. So one of the judges gave it to Usman. Khamzat Chimaev, he kicked the shit out of Khamzat Chimaev on 5 days' notice. Kamaru Usman's a bad motherfucker. So, put as much stock into that Kamaru Usman loss as you'd like. I'd rather put the stock into the Chris Curtis loss at a different weight class, because Chris Curtis absolutely sucks. He's horrible. Should retire. Should be ousted to bare knuckle boxing or something like that. But he doesn't even have heart for something like that. Chris Curtis is on his Anthony Smith arc right now, where he's looking for any way out anytime he can get it. I know a lot of guys took strays, and hey, Kamaru Usman took some sideways praise without even it being necessary. But I'm going Joaquin Buckley. He's too big. He's too strong. It's going to be hard for Sean Brady to get him down. And Luke, you tell me he's training with Kamaru Usman, one of the best wrestlers this division has really ever seen until, one fucking Islam Makhachev came into the picture. But I got to go with Joaquin Buckley. I just think he knocks Sean Brady out. He keeps him off of him. He knocks him completely out cold. Bad look for Sean Brady. He's going to have a lot of work to do to get back into this picture. And it always seems like he's a guy who's 1 or 2 fights away. But once he gets that opportunity to get that next level up in competition, he fails. So this could be one that, he could surprise me like he did against Leon Edwards, right? Like, he absolutely shocked me against Leon Edwards. But I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. He's going to go in there, and Joaquin Buckley's going to – I feel like if Joaquin Buckley touches him, he's done.
I look at, like, okay, he beat Court McGee, Nurdaev, Aguilera. Jake Matthews is his best win. Michael Chiesa lost to Bilal Muhammad. Kelvin Gastelum absolutely sucks. Gilbert Burns just retired. Leon Edwards has been a shell of himself. He's been on that amazing losing streak. He got knocked out by Michael Morales. That's it, guys. That's fucking it, and that's all. Like, meanwhile, Buckley beats former champ Colby Covington, beats Stephen Thompson, knocks out Stephen Thompson, beats Ruzaboev, finishes Luque, beats Alex Morono, who, like, all those guys are better than any of his wins, And even, like, when he was getting his shit together at middleweight, like, how do you think fucking Sean Brady would do at middleweight? You know what I mean? Like, I just think that Sean Brady is going to be a victim for every second this fight is on the feet. The only way he wins is by taking him down for all 15 minutes. And Buckley is so strong that I just think that'll exhaust Sean Brady. Like, it's not, I don't think it's possible for him to hold him down like Usman did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. Like, that is the path. And honestly, in theory, Sean Brady should have better wrestling and grappling than Usman at this stage in the game. You know? My camera's advertised. Anyway, so it's just funny what I'm getting for ads, and I know why I'm getting them, but I'm like, I don't want to expose myself. But anyway, look, yeah, I mean, I think Buckley slimes him out.
I'm not gonna sound like an echo or a broken record. I want Sean Brady to win. Like, I would love to see him do well, but I'm taking Buckley.
Okay. Next, we have Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Alessandro Cortez, Acosta Cortez. Look, I'm going to keep this short from my perspective. I'm going with Volkov. And the reason is the kind of same thing with Sean Brady. Like, okay, Waldo Cortez Acosta beat, if you go back to his like UFC debut, Jared Vandera, Chase Sherman. Then they tried to give him Junior Tafa in 2023. It's like at heavyweight before he got thin. So it's, or I'm sorry, that was Justin Tafa. But it's like, okay, Jared Vandera.
They play those tricks though, Luke. You never know. You never know what Tafa you're getting.
Jared Vandera and Chase Sherman. What's up? Was Harry Hunsucker not available for the next one? Like, you know, and then loses to DeLima. Then beats Lucas Brzeski, who I believe is like a light heavyweight. Andrei Arlovsky, Rebelis Despanje, who is not an MMA fighter and is a karate kickboxer. Ryan Spann, Sergey Spivak, loses to Sergey Pavlovich, beats Antti D'Elia, who just lost to Sergey Pavlovich. Sergey Spivak. And he almost lost to Antti D'Elia, but it was that eye poke fiasco. He beats Shamel Gaziv, who just got beat by
Shamel Gaziv?
Who just got beat the fuck out of by Brando Perichik. And sucks. And he beat Derek Lewis. So it's like, who's the fuck has he beaten? Meanwhile, Volkov, Cyril Gane, beat him. I don't care what the fuck his record says. Tom Aspinall, sure, he got beat in the first round. But why don't I remember that fight? Beat Jairzinho Rosenstrike, beat Alexander Romanov, finished both of them in the first round. Beat Tai Tuivasa, who sucks, but it's like, beat Alistair Overeem. Okay? Beat Fabricio Verdum. Two of the best heavyweights of all fucking time. So yeah, I'm going with Volkov.
Which one didn't you remember?
I didn't remember Aspinall fighting Volkov.
Oh yeah, they fought early in Tom's career. I mean, 2022. It was probably like Tom's third or fourth fight.
And by the way, Tom Aspinall, when he comes back, he has to fight Josh Hockett, as far as I'm concerned. And no belt, 3-round fight. Strip him of his belt. He plays Josh Hockett for 3 rounds. Winner fights for the belt. How about that? I gave Tom so much sympathy. I was the only one doing it, but it's been too long, and I'm sick of fucking effing to sit here and wait around for Tom Aspinall. We need to get the train moving. And Tom, you lost your spot, and I don't even think you beat Josh Hockett.
Do your Tom Aspinall impression?
Oh, well, you know, everyone's asking me about what I was doing, and well, I know it's probably. No, I love Tom. I really do love Tom, but honestly, I'm a Josh Hockett guy now. Tom, you left me at the altar, and it's been too many long, lonely nights, and I found a new man, and he's Josh Hockett, and he's my favorite fighter in the whole wide world, and I love him. So it's Josh Hockett is the champ as far as I'm concerned. And Gable Stevenson, I can't wait till your bitch ass gets to the UFC. I hope they give you a fucking fight with Josh Hockett so he can slime you out.
Gable Stevenson's gonna get fraud checked when he gets in.
He's gonna get so fraud checked at him. Gable,
I can't wait.
Put him against my fucking man, Lieutenant Sergeant Colonel First Command
Wyatt Hendrickson.
I watched. I had the name in my head, but then I said too many military.
I watched that match. I screamed so loud I woke my mom up.
I cried, and then I showed everybody in the house. I woke them all up and made them watch.
Yep. That might have been the greatest moment.
Big boy Wyatt beats the fuck out of Gabe in an MMA fight. Put him in there.
I think Gable Steveson gets knocked down the first round fraud check style. I want that son of a bitch to get slept.
Dude, he's a psychopath with no personality. He's a fucking blank slate. He's a straight up stone cold psycho. And
He's
there's nothing behind the eyes. He's a liar and a cheater and a fraud as far as
the only personality he has is, I was in the Olympics. Did you know that? Yeah, bro. And you got
Yeah.
beat by Wyatt Hendrickson.
Forever. And Wyatt
You know where
Henderson
else he
sneaks
went?
him in
He
the
went to court, and they had to change laws in his state just to get him out of trouble. Okay.
And how about and yeah, he went to the Buffalo Bills for a cup of coffee. He didn't even last as long as Brendan Schaub.
Yeah, I mean, like
Matt Riddle lasted longer in the WWE than you. There's a reason he's coming to the UFC. He's got nowhere else to go.
yeah.
Josh Hockett really played for the fucking 49ers. He's a real athlete. Josh Hockett sleeps. Gable Stevenson, bad.
At least Jordan Burroughs swallowed his pride and said, "You know what? I'll just wrestle for Jamaica."
Jordan Burroughs said he blamed his wife. He said, "Hey, my wife won't let me do it." Yeah, because your wife knows. Wife knows you ain't got the heart for it.
That NCAA to UFC pipeline is getting real thin. You know,
Real thin. Thank God for the NIL. Thank God
Poirier
for
was
the
really good at it.
There ain't enough high school jobs in the world for all these guys to fucking find something to do when wrestling's over.
Brock
So thank
Lesnar
God for
did
the NIL. Let's hope they buy some Bitcoin.
I was hopeful with Bo Nickel for a while, and he's starting to piss me off now. But
Dude, I think Dawkins could fucking slime Bo Nickel out. I'll tell you that much. He could darce Bo Nickel up.
I was a huge fan of Bo Nickel. His last like 2 or 3 fights, pissing me off. Dude, it makes me. Your entire life you wrestle, and now you want to try to throw hands when you're in the UFC for mixed martial arts. How stupid do you have to be? Your entire life is taking people to the ground, and you're.
Well, then he gets taken down. Guess what? He got taken down by fucking Rainier the Raider. So he's not even unblemished. Some guys are like never been taken down in the UFC. Like it shows a little stat. No, how they already can't say that for Bo Nickel. And how about this? Bo Nickel did win me back when he said something nice about Josh Hockett. I said, okay. I said, Bo, you're really now you're winning me back. Be nice to my boy, and now you have been. So there you go. You're because they wrestled at him, and he said Josh Hockett was the only guy who actually tried to beat me, and didn't just try to stall. And he texted Josh Hockett
on with Jesse Parker and Chael Sonnen.
With Ian Entropathy Parker, who literally had a show called Best Bets where he lost the first week and continued to lose every single week until it said record for this season minus 150 units, which means a unit means 1% of your bankroll. That means he lost everything he had planned to bet and then had to ask his wife for money or sell his car or something to fucking keep betting, and he kept losing. He finished the year down 150 units on a show called Best Bets. Fucking Brendan Fitzgerald and Minty Betts and Johnny the Greek did exponentially better than him.
With that all being said, Volkov in 2 rounds. We digressed a lot there. With that being said, I have Volkov over Cortez Acosta.
I've got something to say, Adam. Luke and I, we went to that national championship. We didn't go to the finale, but all week.
I think I remember you taking a picture there. I think I remember that.
We went to probably I went to 3 sessions. I think Luke came to 2, or maybe he came to 1 and I came to 3. But I was sitting there. I was glazing Gable Steveson the entire time, and then watch the whole national championship at home. I'm a little behind, and Luke calls me. He's like, "Yo, did you just fucking see that?" And he lies to me, tells me it's like some other thing, just not to spoil it. And then I see it and I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing. Yeah, but the Gable Steveson, everybody dick rides him, but at the end of the day, the heavyweight division's so shallow that he's probably going to become like a top 5 contender in like 3 fights. But I don't agree with Joe Rogan saying, oh, we need to just get him right in there with a top 3 contender. I mean, sure, he might be able to beat some of them, but
it's the heavyweight. You're facing Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah, like you could fight Tai Tuivasa and get a ranking. Tai Tuivasa, after he lost his fight before the last, by the time Monday came, Tai Tuivasa was already ranked back to 12th. He somehow went up in the rankings off of a loss just because the heavyweight division is, as Chael Sonnen equated women's MMA. We just need somebody that size to raise their hand and say, yo, I'm ready. So it's super top heavy in that division, just like Tai Tuivasa. And, I do think that he could beat a lot of guys, like Luke mentioned, Harry Hunsucker, all these other guys who've, kind of came and went from the UFC. Definitely think he has a chance of, getting up there at the very least. I don't think that he'll have issues doing that, but he'll definitely have issues with some of the higher level guys here. I don't think he's coming in and contending for a title in his first year or two.
Do you see this? This is the last episode of Best Bets 4 months ago. They did not renew him. Okay.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Minus 129.1 units. And I'm telling you guys, from episode 1, it was an entropic journey. It was a bounce back week. Every week was going to be a bounce back week. Every single week was going to be a bounce back. And they called the show Best Bets. Does he work for the CIA? Was he put there to lose people money? Chael Sonnen needs to know this. He does the show with him on Smashcast or whatever, and he needs to understand. Like, Chael doesn't pay attention to that stuff, but Chael will make fun of George Masvidal and say George Masvidal calls himself a promoter. He doesn't sign the back of checks. He doesn't book the fights. He just lends his name to Bare Knuckle FC MMA, Bare Knuckle MMA. That might be true, Chael, and you're right to call it out. Call out Ian Parker for having a show called Best Bets where he finished the year minus 129 units. I'm just saying, we call our show the Perfect Parlay Pursuit. We are pursuing the Perfect Parlay. And we've hit the Perfect Parlay. And I won $5,000 last week. This is a much better. The Triple B certified picks went, guys, they went 69%, 65%, 66%. We always come above 50% every single fucking year. The years that we've had that are bad years, when I go 49% accurate and with underdog picks and massive parlay wins, the audacity. And by the way, with a quick little AI search, when I tried to find Ian Parker Best Bets, I typed in Ian Parker Best Bets record. This says, based on BetMMA.tips, tracking for Ian Parker's ESPN MMA bets has recorded a negative ROI, holding a minus 17% ROI in 2023 and a minus 3% ROI in 2022. So therefore, he fucking wasn't winning in 2022, wasn't winning in 2023. By the way, he made 58 bets and 71 bets. Oh my God. I make if I showed you, I make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bets all the time. He's not even making a lot of bets. He's not even putting himself out there taking risks. These are his favorite picks. Like the ones he's the most confident of.
He betting 3 units on Brendan Moreno. Luke's out here betting 500 units on West Coast.
And by the way,
that's right.
He goes, recent notable wins. UFC 323. He recommended that Merab would win by decision. You know what the odds were for that, Alex? Minus 250.
Bravo.
What a fucking... Oh, wait. You think Merab is going to win by decision? Wait, are you...
Like saying Bilal Muhammad's going to win by decision.
You know what? You're crazy as a fox, Ian Parker. I'm going to ride that. Let me go get $250 to win 100. Hoo-hoo. Fucking numbskull. Fuck you, Ian Parker. I'm kidding. I watch the show. I watch the show every week. You know what I mean? Like, I really like. I feel like just, I'm insulted. Because you know why, Alex? Because no one knows who he is. Like, he's got the personality of a fucking wet towel. He's got no fucking chutzpah. I'm sitting here with a fucking cowboy hat, fucking saying all sorts of funny shit, and I win. And they don't want to put me on Best Bets? I should be on bet. It's envy and jealousy is what it is. It's envy. And I go, if he was famous, like Brett Akamoto's on the show, I go, well, Brett Akamoto's a good-looking guy. He's famous. Ian Parker looks like fucking somebody's nephew who was born without a pituitary gland. You know what I mean? And got fucking,
minty bets. Minty bets. We
minty
don't
bets is beautiful and wins. Brett Akamoto is beautiful. Ian Parker looks like a fucking bridge troll So he doesn't got the looks. He's not funny, and he loses. Like there's no like you look like Uncle Weezy. At least you win fucking bets. You look like fucking.
It's like
Coach
putting
Jackson
Anthony Smith
holding
on
out
the
the
desk.
You win bets.
It's
But
like
Ian
putting
Hewitt
Anthony Smith on the desk during these fights. It's like
who? Where does he know where the bodies are buried? How did he get this job, and why? Like, does ESPN is there not a long line of people interviewing for these types of jobs? When's the casting call? Like, how did he get the job?
On there, for goodness sakes.
He's junior varsity at best.
Yeah, but
Johnny the Greek looks like an old leather fucking boot, and at least he wins bets. Is my point. You can be ugly, or you can lose bets, but not both.
Well, I would say Yanni the Greek is both of the above. He's got chiclet teeth, ugly as all get out, has a voice for fucking the guy with the Hitler mustache. Like, he should be in those types of movies with his voice. Charlie Chaplin. His voice is annoying. His teeth are humongous. He's got the same Michael Bisping thing going on that everybody with fake teeth does. Every time they talk, sucking in their spit.
You got to see Chael and Ariel Helwani today, because he brought up so many things that are just evidence for me. They go in my evidence locker of reasons why I hate the people I already hated. Because he brings up Anthony Smith and he goes something about Anthony said he was glad he didn't have a gun the day that kid broke in and all that stuff. And Joe goes, and his wife and kids were upstairs. I'm like,
glad they didn't have a gun. I mean,
I'm like, I'm just blown away by it. As a guy with kids, I go and listen, I've never killed anybody, but if I thought my family was in danger, I'd happily do it.
Anthony Smith should be.
I would kill myself to protect my family, let alone some fucking street urchin.
Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith is lucky that guy didn't have an extra hit of crack on him. Otherwise, he would have withstood the holding down of Anthony Smith crying and yelling for the cops like he did against fucking Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker was beating him up so bad he got PTSD.
Never been in the situation, but I think I'd kill you, Alex. I think I would kill you, Adam. Under certain circumstances, I just see red, bro.
It's true. It's true. He does. But yeah, pretty much Anthony Smith sucks.
Okay.
Yanni the Greek sucks. I'm going with Alexander Volkov, though. I think he beats Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Triple P certified on
They've
Volkov,
got similar games. Volkov is better at it. Volkov beat Cyril Gane. Volkov is on a 8-fight win streak apart from that Cyril Gane split decision loss. I know he lost to Cyril in the past, but everybody knows that he won that second fight. Dana White said he'd take care of him. He gave him Jalton Almeida. A great matchup for Volkov. He took care of him all right. Jalton Almeida is one of the worst matchups for Volkov, and Volkov still walked away with it. He's the Undertaker. They keep trying to put him in the casket. He says, no, not today. Give me Volkov. He's going to take out Waldo Cortez Acosta. The only thing that can get in his way is a crab in the bucket referee.
Agreed. If Mark Goddard's in there, then I'm gonna start to question him. All right, next we got fighting out of Okinawa, Japan, Tatsuya, the best Taira. Not the best fighter, but the best Taira. The best Tiara.
I am happy, thank you. Is that what he says?
I think so. And Joshua Van from Myanmar. Joshua the Fearless Van. He's not the fearless fighter, he's the fearless Van. Okay. Very interesting, because I picked Van to beat Pantoja. He did. People will say it's some bullshit. Hey, look, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. You know what I mean? He caught the kick, he pushed him down, he fell on his arm. He did that,
Chris Curtis not Chris Curtis. Curtis Blades finished Tom Aspinall round 1.
Yeah. Now, I will say the victory over Brendan Moreno was incredibly impressive. Taira beat the shit out of Brendan Moreno. People said that was an early stoppage. It was not, I don't believe. But I'm going to stick with the champ. Champ as an underdog, plus 165, Josh Van. I'm going with Josh Van. Never been a UFC Japanese champion. I'm going with Josh Van.
I can agree with that. I was going to initially take Tatsuro, but just looking at Joshua Van, looking at his past fights and his fighting style, I think that he's a really good counter to Tatsuro, and I think that he's going to go in there and show him what it means to be a UFC champion versus just being a number 3 contender. I do think Joshua Van is going to hand it to him.
Yeah, I mean, I just think strength of schedule, kind of about even, but common opponent Brandon Royval, Van got through him, Tyra did not. You know what? I don't know. I don't know.
Who had to pull out last time? It was Van, right?
No, I think it was
Van injury.
Yeah.
So that was
all right. I'm going with Tyra.
That was 3 weeks ago. What's changed? Was it not an injury? What exactly happened to make you feel better 3 weeks from the fight than
costing everybody money? Florida, no state income tax. Jersey, some of the higher state income taxes on average in the country per capita GDP. So yeah, I mean, no, I didn't mean to fake you out there, Adam, but I actually do think I'm going to go with Tatsuro Taira. I think he's bigger. I think he's stronger. I think he's the better grappler. I think he's a competent striker. I think Van's only path to victory is knocking him out, and I think that Van has kind of been a slow starter at times, and I think once Taira kind of gets moving and grooving, the grappling can really suck some of that power away from Van. So I'm going to go with Tatsuro Taira. First Japanese champ. I
respect it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Taira as well. Bushido code, samurais, what else? What else is there? All types of stuff. Judo. Give me Tatsuro Taira. Relatively unblemished. That fight with Royval was close. I mean, it was a split decision loss.
I'm just sorry, I was sorry to interrupt you. I'm just embarrassed that Taira, being from Japan, a beautiful, clean, respectful, polite country, has to see Newark.
Yeah.
Has to see Newark with his own 2 eyes, has to smell Newark, and he's gonna go, "This is America." Childish Gambino's gonna go, "This is America."
That's how people are gonna react when they go to Rutherford, New Jersey for the World Cup. They're gonna be like, "What is this piece of shit?"
Yep.
It's sad.
I couldn't agree more.
Hey, Tyra, you come on down to South Jersey. We'll show you a thing or two about why we call it the Garden State.
Absolutely. Take you to the oldest livestock exchange in the entire.
You ain't never had Jersey corn. You ain't never had it.
You ever have a Jersey tomato? Sure, it ain't shaped like an anime character like y'all got in Japan with your fancy technology. But sure, I can't give you a Labubu tomato like I can get in Okinawa or Nagasaki. But I can.
You're not gonna have an octopus fucking a tomato. You're not gonna have that.
I won't be able to. We don't mold them into the funnest shapes like you guys do in Japan. I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. But I'll get you a stop sign red Jersey Mike's tomato on a nice Italian hoagie.
Absolutely.
We'll give it up, and I'll give it to you Mike's way.
Yeah, give me Taira. I think he's gonna control a lot of the exchanges in this one. I mean, you look back at Josh Van's career, he has kind of struggled with grapplers a bit. That's kind of been his Achilles heel. I know he's unblemished apart from one of the greatest ever to do it, Charles Johnson. But in some of these fights where he has fought guys who grapple a little bit more, he struggled a little bit. Zalgaz Zumagulov took him to a split decision, and he was controlling a lot of that. And I know that was, let's see, 3 years ago, and Josh Van's super young. What is he, 23, 24 years old? So he was 21 in that fight at most, and he still came away with the victory. But I don't think that a lot of these other guys can impose their will the way Tatsuro Taira can. Tatsuro Taira, sure, he caught his lumps against Brandon Royval. That was still a split decision, guys. One judge had him winning that fight. Brandon Royval is a lot more slippery, a lot more wiry, a lot more difficult to hold down. He's got a more tricky game, a more tricky guard. Sure, we haven't seen the most of Josh Van off of his back. Damn, his full name is Joshua Van Bouwitang.
Makes you want to take them more.
That sounds like something that I would find.
Shit!
That sounds like something I would find and throw in my van if I go to Thailand, a Bowie Thang. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with Josh Van on this one. He's got big, beautiful lips. He's a handsome boy, and I think he wins this.
You know, Adam,
It's 2-2 now.
I just checked it when I heard you say shit. I put $50 on the Flyers and $50 on the Sixers.
Yeah, why did you put money on the Flyers? That is the worst mistake you could have made.
Well, they were plus 230 in a playoff match.
No, because that means they're going to lose. That's not. No,
Well,
I
and
don't
you
give a
know what?
shit about the odds.
I thought so too, and I said to myself, my winning streak has to come to an end eventually. I want to get it out of the way before we get to the weekend. So let's just bet on the Flyers and the Sixers. They'll both fucking lose, and then I'll.
Sixers are down 74-51 at halftime.
Oh, I know the Sixers. I mean, I knew that one was gonna try. I knew that one was gonna lose, but I thought it was like if one of them loses and one of them wins, I'd win between like $50 and $60, and if they both win, I'd win like $200 and something. So I was like, I want to lose this $100 so that I
You
can.
need something short of a miracle.
I like the Flyers more, but like I hate our buddy Murph Dog so much that I I don't want him to have anything over my head. I don't want him saying anything to me about this. I'm gonna have to wait all the way till football season to get my just desserts. So I'm really hoping the Sixers can pull through. I don't even care about basketball. Who the fuck cares about?
Oh, I could not name one player on the Philadelphia 76ers. Not
Are you
one.
serious?
That's crazy.
Joel Embiid.
He's
Give
on
me
there.
another one. He's been on that team since
Okay. Wow.
the 70s.
Allen Iverson.
Holy shit.
That's the last time I cared about the Sixers was when Allen Iverson was playing. My GOAT. All right. Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. It's about that time. A fight that I said at the beginning of the show, I don't even think it's going to happen this weekend. I think something's going to happen between now and then, and it will be pulled from the card. It will not happen. You'll end up getting fucking,
You
I don't
think
even
so?
know. Well, have you been paying attention?
Slightly.
Sean Strickland saying in interviews things about, all sorts of different ethnic, religious, and racial groups. Sean Strickland saying that if Khamzat Chimaev and his friends try to jump him before the fight, he'll pull his gun out and shoot them all dead in the streets like dogs.
That's just classic Sean Strickland shit, though. That's not anything.
And also, it's like, why is it so wrong to be like, if people try to accost me and I'm outnumbered and 3 hooligans try to jump me, I'm going to exercise my right to defend. Like, the law says he can do it. Why is everyone the law?
Sean Strickland has that identity with him. He's gonna say some out of pocket shit.
And here's the thing, guys.
That's
Okay,
long,
I don't
long.
want to kill him, but if he puts me in a position, I'm gonna have to.
What does he say in that song? Beer for my horses, whiskey for men. How about the long arm of the law? Put a few down, send them all to their maker, and we'll settle them down. Right? That's whiskey for my men, beer for my horses. My point is, what he said wasn't actually that crazy. I mean, he said a lot of crazy stuff, but the whole thing about, like, they asked him, what are you going to do if Khamzat and his team try to jump you before the fight? And, like, that's sort of just like a quid pro quo. Like, it's like, well, in that hypothetical situation,
I will have no option but to.
if you pee on me, I'll have to take it to the next level. Something of that nature. It's just like
Anybody who's watched Fish Tank knows that. Okay, you throw pee on me, I'm gonna throw poo on you.
it's called mutually assured destruction. Okay, so didn't think that was the crazy part, but that's what everyone's seeming to focus on. And when you focus on something, it breeds novelty into it, and it makes it more likely to happen. And I'm worried.
And the media is really like baiting the fuck out of him. It's like Dana White said. It's like,
I know.
what do you guys expect? Like, you're asking a literal crazy person, and then they're like, so what do you think about Dana White? He's like, Dana's a sociopath. Let me say this, actually. He's a psychopath.
Yeah. Well, I like Chael Sonnen said on the most recent interview with Errol Hawani that happened today, worth a watch. He said, Strickland is the last line of defense for the division. Like, if we don't want to see Hamzat just wrestle fucking these guys to death for the rest of the time he's champion until he decides to retire, Strickland might be one of the last guys that can stop him. And Chael did say, he said,
DDP if he wins though. Like DDP's like, oh, I beat that guy twice. He's like, yeah, but I beat the guy that beat you and made you look terrible.
yeah. I kind of feel like, okay, if Hamzat couldn't submit DDP, who I believe is like way worse on the ground than Sean Strickland, couldn't submit him for 5 rounds, also couldn't really do much damage to him either.
No doubt.
I don't think
DDP ended that fight on top, beating the shit out of him.
I don't think Hamzat's path to victory is with the grappling. I really don't. I think it's like just strike with Strickland. Like, eat his little baby Miranda Cosgrove punches and fucking knock his ass out. Like, he knocked out Gerald Meerschaert. What happened to that? He knocked out Aliskerov outside of the UFC. What happened to that? Like,
he knocked out the white Mike Tyson too.
John Phillips, no, he did that on the ground.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then because the Iron Turtle beat John Phillips too and said, did I land more strikes than Hamzat? And they said, yeah, you did. But yeah, I think Hamzat's path to victory is by knockout. I think he needs to go in there, be younger, be faster, be stronger, more powerful puncher, and be the guy who hasn't gotten knocked out or chin checked. Besides in the fight with Gilbert Burns, he got cracked hard, but he didn't, lose the round. I think that Hamzat should knock him out. And I'm going to bet Hamzat by knockout. But I want Sean Strickland to win. And Sean really impressed me with the Anthony Hernandez fight. My pick will be Sean Strickland by KO or decision, and then it will be Hamzat by KO. I think that's how the fight. Those are the 3 outcomes of the fight. I don't think Hamzat wins a decision because I think that if he's
and one additional bet that this fight doesn't even happen.
Yeah, and then a 4th bet that the fight doesn't happen at all. And that Dana White blames the media for stoking the fire of division, as they always do.
It's kind of on brand.
Here's what I think. I think that they're going to get to the walkouts. Sean Strickland's going to walk out, going to get checked, going to get cup checked, going to go inside the ring and start doing a shadow boxing shit. Comes out, walks down. Gets to the cut man. Cut man starts looking him over. Notices small little staph infection, calls the fight off.
Whoa.
No main event.
Whoa.
Crazy shit.
I was going to say something else, but then the media will come after me if I say
I think there's more of a likelihood that one of the 2 contenders in this matchup hides something in their coats or
Sean Strickland keisters his Glock, raps game over.
Hey, either that or the opposite. Either that or the opposite. And Hamzat Chimaev saying he's going to kill everybody. He wasn't lying.
He comes out there with like the crocodile from Peter Pan.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I do think I don't hate your answers, Luke. I don't hate the 3 outcomes. After debating on that for more than a minute, I think that's the truth. I think it's either going to be Sean Strickland KO or decision or Hamzat KO. I can't see Hamzat doing whatever the hell he wants to Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland's built like a brick shithouse. I just can't see him getting manhandled.
And at first, I kind of thought Hamzat by submission easy. He's going to go in there and submit him just fucking easily. But then I was like, well, he couldn't submit DDP. And like Strickland, like he says, has been grappling with guys of Hamzat's ilk, like Ankalaev and like all these guys in the gym for a long time. And he's been
working on his takedown defense as well.
He's been preparing for that.
What those guys think about all this?
Also, that's a missed call from that referee. What a piece of shit.
I would have loved to have taken the Flyers plus 1.5 at this point. Looks like it's going to go to overtime. Then I would have cashed easy.
Don't see, now that you said that shit, Carolina's marching down right now. Oh my gosh, I would have lost my mind.
They're offering me $6 more than I bet on the Flyers. Should I cash it out? The problem is on the Sixers, they'll only offer me $4 to cash out on a $50 bet, so it won't save my night, you know.
It will not. But yeah, I think Kamzat KO or Strickland KO/decision.
Yeah, all right, I like it.
Alex, you're muted.
I said, okay, agreeable, Adam. Agreeable, Adam. So who is your pick for the fight?
Vegas. No, I think it's
I don't know. I think there's going to be one Chechnyan. I think there's going to be one Chechnyan dictator who is putting a lot of money on Khamzat Chimaev.
I'm gonna take Kamzat. I think. I don't want it. I think I want Sean Strickland, but my brain is saying Kamzat.
I think your brain's saying something else that you want on your face. But that's that's besides the point. Yeah, I mean, Khamzat Chimaev is unbettable in this spot. Minus 510 favorite. I think this is a lot closer of a fight. Then Adam, the Bitman would lead on. With Vegas winning, Vegas this, Vegas that. I was at Vegas.
The first time I mentioned Vegas all night.
I was at Vegas, and let me tell you, they do win quite a bit. But as Luke said, it has to come up black one of these times. And see, Luke, this would have been a better fight to make that analogy on, so you don't get yourself in any hot water. See, Adam, you're sitting here with a Crusader necklace around your neck, and you're gonna sit here.
I said brain is Kamzat, heart is Sean Strickland. There's a difference between brain and heart. Brain is saying Kamzat's 15-0, he mauls people, and Sean Strickland is 1 IQ point away from being like mentally autistic. Like it's just that.
I think that would raise his IQ. I think he's 1 point away from being something else. But yeah, no, I mean.
Yeah, he had autism. He'd be one of those idiots.
Leonardo da Vinci was autistic. I mean.
Do you look at Sean Strickland and think Leonardo da Vinci? Are you for real?
Not quite, but he is a visionary.
I see like Johnny Knoxville.
I wouldn't say he's Leonardo da Vinci, but he's certainly a visionary of sorts. More of a King Baldwin, I would say. Give me Sean Strickland. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells you. Khamzat Chimaev, he fought really conservatively against DDP, and DDP didn't say a single bad word about him. I was watching the MMA Guru earlier. He was talking about the last time we saw Khamzat Chimaev get into one of these slugfest brawls, he was super mad at the weigh-ins for whatever reason when he fought Gilbert Burns. I don't know what it was, but he was like slamming his microphone on the desk. He was going crazy. He's going to kill everybody. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. I don't know what poor little Gilbert Burns did to him. Well, everything that Gilbert Burns did to him was after all that. So I don't exactly know, the lore behind that, but I do know he was upset. I do know he was pissed off. I do know that he almost died and retired from the novel virus. I do know that he has a weak immune system. You go to Newark, there's more heroin needles on the ground than there are vaccines that you can find anywhere. So I don't really think Khamzat Chimaev has it in him. Sean Strickland has double the fights in 3 years' time. Khamzat Chimaev is a guy, I think the UFC, as much as like he can be marketable to a certain region of the world, I think they're sick of all these guys who only fight once a year, who can't fight during Lent, who do all this, do all that. No. Get out of here. He got knocked out by his fucking daddy's son. You know, did you see that, Adam?
Who?
Hamza Chimaev. He was knocked out 3 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
In camp by Kadirov's son, who doesn't fight. Kadirov's son sparked him out. You kidding me? This guy has no heart. This guy has no integrity. I don't want to get on my soapbox and start talking like Sean Strickland, but this guy sucks, man.
I agree that I am not a fan of the fighters who are a once a year or every other year fighter. That like you're in the UFC to fight, and that's your entire career, and you're like not well enough for one fight, so I'm going to take it easy. Like,
and the media will tell you these guys don't make enough money. The UFC makes too much money. They don't make enough, and the stockholders this, the stockholders that. It's like, bro, they fight for at most 50. They work for 50 minutes a year, and you think these guys deserve more money? NFL players work 60 minutes every week, 17 weeks straight. They don't deserve the same amount as NFL players. NBA players play at least 82 games per year. And sure, load management, Adam can tell you more. He manages loads all the time. But
quite good at it, too.
Little mouth on him. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, 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 bing.
You know,
injected in his asshole.
Sure, LeBron James manages.
He's injected his asshole.
Sure, LeBron James manages his load, and he doesn't necessarily play all 82 games.
I love the balls on my mouth.
These NBA players, they're playing 3 times a week. The NBA player or the NHL players are playing 4 times a week. Stitches across their head, coming back into the game, don't give a fuck. You look at an MLB player, sure, it's the least taxing sport in the world, and me as a 8-year-old, I could pick daisies, still get up and fucking catch a fly ball. You know, it was easy as pie. They pay 162 games a year. You know how fucking long an MLB game is? I mean, don't even get me started before the pitch clock. Now it's at most 2, 3, 4 hour games still, nonetheless.
NASCAR racers race every Sunday in a car that's 140 degrees for 5 hours, and they do it from February till November.
Pissing their pants, pooping their pants in the car, wearing diapers, getting not just road rash, diaper rash on their ass because they have to shit and piss somewhere. You ever wonder, oh, that guy drove 500 laps. How did he hold it in that long? They're pissing their pants. They got astronaut technology.
And you know what's funny about that? Before the race, they're drinking Coca-Colas. Like you would think
a little more hydrating.
Guys, people who go into racing haven't even heard of H2O. Okay, they say they think that's for the boys in California with Justin Villegas. They're like, Coca-Cola's all I need to survive. A little Mountain Dew and I'm good to go. Okay, so give me Sean Strickland, dude. Just a harder man, and Dricus du Plessis is a huge guy. He falls all over himself. Okay, everybody knows Dricus du Plessis by piano falling on the opponent. Dricus du Plessis by drawing a tunnel on the wall and the guy runs into it. Like everybody knows Dricus du Plessis is the fucking road runner out there. He's just pulling all the tricks, all the stops. Sean Strickland actually is a technically good fighter, and you can hate what he says, you can hate what he does, you can hate that he cries. Hey man, I ain't never cried in there. yeah, I ain't never been knocked out and I ain't never cried. Okay. Shout out to Nate Diaz, GOAT. Fuck what Daniel Cormier said about him.
I like what Jim Miller said. We don't need to get into it, but I like what Jim Miller said. Look it up.
No. I said that to you and your wife. I was like, exactly. Daniel Cormier wants to say all this shit, but Nate Diaz fought for fucking 30, 40 fights in the UFC and never cried once and was never knocked out once. The only time he got TKO'd was his brother threw in the towel. And, I hope he gets that get back on Josh Thompson because I know his ass needs some money. I know your ass, Josh Thompson, needs some money. But yeah, give me Sean Strickland. He's going to go out there. He's going to put on a masterclass. Khamzat Chimaev is going to come in with a hot head. He's a hot-headed guy. He's going to do something fucking stupid at the weigh-ins. He's going to do something fucking stupid in the hotel. He's going to do something stupid at the press conference. I pray to God they have a press conference. I hope they have a press conference. Just to see Sean Strickland do Mortal Kombat against all the guys. Coming
He's going to say some whack shit.
Coming for his life. Adam, if you haven't seen the interview of Sean Strickland yet from last week, you got to watch it now. He has some choice words about Khamzat Chimaev's choice in partners. And I ain't talking about my partner. But
didn't think so.
Sean Strickland emphatically. Khamzat's unbettable. Sure, everybody and their mom's gonna say, "Oh, he's a badass guy." Fucking 155er Gilbert Burns beat you to death's door.
And who's cried more than Gilbert Burns?
Huh?
Who's cried more than Gilbert Burns? Oh wait, Herbert Burns must run in the. Guess it's a family tradition.
Herbert Burns has cried more in the octagon than any other fighter and has only had 5 fights. But and he has cried before, during, and after. Anywho, Sean Strickland's going to play it smart, get this guy all pissed off. Sean Strickland isn't the one getting pissed off. He's having fun out there. He's doing some good old-fashioned trolling. And he's gonna go out there and he's gonna beat his ass.
All right. Next, that's it. Adam, you're going with Strickland or Khamzat?
That got me fired up. Let's go Strickland.
She'll be served by Sean Strickland. Hey, I picked Strickland against Israel Adesanya. Big underdog. Bigger underdog than he is now. So, all right. My picks: Sean Strickland, Tetsuya Taira, Alexander Volkov, Joaquin Buckley, King Green, Ateba Gauthier, Yoel Alvarez, Mateus Rebecki, Jim Miller, and Roman Kopylov, William Gomis, Sir Serkayev, and Clayton Carpenter. Alex.
I'm going with Clayton Carpenter. My hero was a carpenter. Bangasur. Adam, that should be your favorite guy. Sir Serkayev. William Gomis. Sir, I'd like to bang.
Bangasur Serkayev.
Roman Kopylov, Jared Gordon, Mateus Rebecki, Joel Alvarez, Atiba Gauthier, King Bobby Green, Joaquin Buckley, Alexander Volkov, Tatsuya Taira, and of course, topping it off with the dog. I mean, I hate doing that, but you have to in this spot. Give me Sean Strickland.
Alex, we have all the same picks except Miller versus Gordon, and I kind of think Gordon's going to win. So we have all the same picks this week, which you're right to follow me after I go. Adam, last week I went 11 out of 12. And the one that I got wrong, I changed my mind right before the fight. But on this podcast, I gave 11 out of 12 correct picks. Then I changed to Tafa the day of the fight. I didn't change any other fucking pick. So straight up, I actually had a perfect parlay if you think about it.
Very good. Let's hope we have some perfect parlays this week. I got Sean Strickland, Joshua Van Volkov, Joaquin Buckley, Jeremy Stevens, Atiba, Yaroslav Amasov, Rebecki, Jim Miller, Kopylov, Gomez, and I didn't give my 2 for these, but we'll go with the Russian, Susarakev. You know me and my Russians.
Wait, sorry. Did you go with Gordon?
Yeah.
Or Miller?
No, Miller.
And then Kopylov, Gomis, Sir Serkayev, and the only one you didn't give was Carpenter, but
I'll give Carpenter.
Beautiful.
Adam, the nature of the perfect parlay, if we have any disagreeing picks, there can't be more than one. So, you said we hope there's some perfect parlays.
If
I
it's
don't know.
not
Maybe
me,
there's
it's
a
not
draw
me.
or two in there. Let's hope there's a draw. But that's the only way. That's the only way we can get multiple perfect parlays around here.
Listen, if it's not mine, I hope it's one of yours. I would like to see a perfect parlay this week.
All right, perfect. Even better.
All right, guys. I think that's it. Thank you all for joining the show. Thanks for watching. Big shout outs in the chat. Thank you for Sweet Pea Grable for joining the chat. Thanks for Andrew Cavanaugh. Thanks to Justin Villegas. Thanks to VCR Repairman. Thanks to Bombaclot. Thanks to Carrie Jane. Of course, Home Wreck and Knee Knocker. We love you guys. And tip the hat to y'all. And we will see you all in the Discord. I'll be locked and loaded this Saturday night. We love you. Join the Patreon to get access to the open bet sheet. You would have won a lot of money alongside me if you tailed me last week. And other than that, boys, thank you so much. And thanks, Adam, for being here. We'll see you all on the flip side.